Welcome to the first video on DC Future States. Now today we're going over the next Batman, issue number 1, and this issue is 64 pages long, a really long issue with 3 different stories in it. The first story is about the next Batman, obviously, but the other 2 stories are about the Outsiders in the Arkham Knights. Now the Outsiders, we got Duke Thomas, Katana, Black Lightning, them in the future, right? Now the Arkham Knights, that story, I'm not going to reveal what that's about yet because it's a surprise and it's very interesting. I actually really enjoyed that story and I think you guys will as well. So, if you guys are ready, let's dive into this issue. We enter the future of Gotham City. Gotham is ruled by magistrates. A private security force patrols Gotham with shoot-on-sight orders. The Batman is number 1 on their kill list. The new Batman dismantles this one criminal. They exchange blows, but Batman ultimately wins. The police show up and go to shoot. Batman escapes using his grappling gun. They're mad because they need to take out all the masks in Gotham City, and they just let the new Batman get away. Now we shift to the Fox residence. Luke Fox wakes up, and his mom tells him he should wake up earlier. They don't need another Bruce Wayne. Luke says he had late nights and tells his mom to take a break from managing papers. Luke goes to visit his sister Tam. We shift to the Little Santa Priscan neighborhood. A group of men with Bane masks listen to their leader. The leader gives 2 brothers, a chance to join the group. He tells the boys no one cares about them except the Banes. The leader tells the boys to man up and blood in. The 2 brothers talk it out and decide to join the group. The leader says, "See, told ya, there was familia. All they gotta do now is take a mask and be someone." Now we shift to the hospital. Luke Fox walks in to see his sister Tam. Tam isn't doing very well. Luke walks in and sees his brother, Tim. Luke tells him to leave because he knows that Tim hasn't been there for so long. He's been gone. He's supposed to be taking care of Tam, but Tim's just been off on his own, a criminal. Now, Luke calls Tim the Fox family screw-up. Tim gets very mad, shuts the door, and leaves the hospital. Luke sits down by his sister. His sister is in a coma. He feels sorry for his sister. We shift to the 2 Banes with the 2 brothers. They're in a car driving through hype territory in Gotham. A bad place to be alone in. They find a hype soldier. One Bane tries to shoot the hype soldier, but one of the other Banes stop him. The hype soldier notices and starts shooting at the car. The Banes try to run him over, but that's when Batman swoops in and saves the hype soldier. The Banes are freaked out that Batman is here. Batman flies into the front windshield. The Banes try to shoot. Batman disappears. He's gone. But that's when the car runs into a truck. Batman shows up and takes out the Banes. The 2 brothers begin to run into an alley. Batman takes out the different Banes. He grabs the Bane leader and tries to find out where the 2 brothers are going. The Bane refuses to answer. Batman then proceeds to knock him out. Then he goes to follow the 2 brothers into the alley. Batman tries to save them from the Peacekeepers. One of the brothers gives their gun to Batman. The other brother takes off running. The Peacekeepers spot them and begin to shoot. Batman drops the smoke bomb and saves the 2 brothers from being shot. They disappear. The Peacekeepers, aka police, or the security force, are mad that they got away. They're mad that Batman got away once again. We see Batman holding the 2 brothers in both of his hands on a ledge over Gotham. One brother says, Are you gonna put us in jail?" Batman responds, "I'm turning you over to Children's Services. What happens after that? It's up to you. It was a good day in Gotham, but a bad day is coming." Now we shift to the Outsiders storyline. We see Katana. She's flying through the streets of Gotham. Duke Thomas, aka the Signal, drives on the road at a fast speed. The Peacekeepers are chasing them. Duke flies the car off a ramp. He supposedly has criminals, aka hostages, inside. Katana flies down the streets. Yo, whoom, as she lands. She says, "If any part you cross the line, your soul is mine. The peacekeepers begin to shoot, and Katana blocks every single bullet with her soul sword. She's literally standing in place, blocking these bullets. She attacks the peacekeepers and takes them all down. Katana and Duke have saved the criminals. Duke gets out of the car. They landed on a bridge. Duke welcomes the criminals to the outside. Duke thanks Katana for the help. She tells him he costed her time and fuel. Something bad is going down Gotham tonight. It involves the magistrate. Katana says, "None of us are safe." She flies off. The criminals ask Duke, "What was that all about, man?" Duke responds, "It's a long story." Katana flies through the sky and tells her sword, Masio, that she'll be careful. Now, that sword's name is obviously the name of her husband. She crashes in front of a big military site. Katana breaks in, takes down a bunch of soldiers. She walks in a room with caliber in it. She just cuts down all these soldiers, guys. That's a really dope scene, and she confronts Caliber. Now, he has joined the magistrate. He's against Katana. Caliber blasts Katana back. She gets up ready. They begin to fight. Yurakathom as Caliber attacks. Caliber begins to get the upper hand. Caliber begins to taunt Katana and remembers that Katana is speaking to her sword because her husband is in there. Katana proceeds to jump and stab the sword into Caliber's chest. Katana lands to the ground. The peacekeepers shoot at her. She dodges. But that's when Caliber takes the sword out of his chest and knocks Katana out with a backhanded punch. He stands over her, but that's when a black and blue lightning appears above. Crack, crack. The lightning begins to attack and win. Caliber and his forces retreat. The lightning returns to the ground. Katana gets up. Katana gets her sword, ready to fight. She realizes that this lightning, it's Jefferson Pierce. She says, "What happened to you?" Katana goes to attack, but Black Lightning grabs her sword and puts it to the ground. Black Lightning stands over Katana. Katana realizes he's been cursed. Jefferson tells her that isn't important right now. What is important is that there's a spy with Duke on the outside. We shift to the Arkham Knight storyline. We see a group of 4 random people, Gotham citizens, fighting off against the Peacekeepers and the Magistrate's forces. They get surrounded. Explosions caused by the destruction of a Magistrate drone. That's when 4 new people show up. They're the Knights of Arkham. These 4 people are actually villains from Arkham Asylum, led by Astrid Arkham, aka the Arkham Knights. The group of 4 are saved and let free by the Arkham Knights. The Knights of Arkham are the only hope Gotham City has left. The Arkham Knights is here in Gotham City to take down the Peacekeepers and their general, Peacekeeper 12. Two-Face, who's working for Astrid now, he tells her that their target has been located. Zaz questions Two-Face's information. Astrid tells Zaz to listen up and get ready to attack. Astrid says, "We've got company." The Knights of Arkham begins to attack the Magistrate tanks and drones. Two-Face tells Astrid that they have lost a signal from down below. They need to help someone. This someone is Killer Croc. The Knights find him, but so do the Magistrate's drones. Killer Croc attacks the drones, and the Knights of Arkham help him out. Astrid and Two-Face walk over to Killer Croc. Astrid asks Croc to join the Knights of Arkham. Killer Croc asks, "Do I have a choice?" Astrid raises her sword as if she was going to stab Croc. She then lowers her blade and responds, "Yes, always." We switch to Wayne Manor. Well, it used to be Wayne Manor. This manor is now ruled by the Knights of Arkham. Two-Face walks with Astrid and gives her all the updates. They both come upon Croc, who is now in containment. He's lost a lot of blood. Astrid hopes he'll wake soon. She needs his strength. Astrid walks outside on the balcony. She speaks to Dr. Phosphorus. He is in pain. He doesn't believe he'll make it. He doesn't want to be a burden to the Knights. Astrid tells him she'll find a cure, not just for him, but for all the group. They all want the world changed. Astrid tells the doctor that she can see the sun finally. She smiles. we shift to Peacekeeper 12, and he gets word to destroy this section of Gotham. He's walking through the sewers. The Knights of Arkham are becoming too much of a threat. Peacekeeper 12 goes out and is attacked by the Arkham Knights and her group. The Peacekeepers give a good fight, but they lose. Astrid stabs the Peacekeeper 12 in the neck and destroys him. She picks up his head. Two-Face gets word of their primary objective. Killer Croc decides to officially join the group. The Knights of Arkham win and walk onward toward their primary objective. Peacekeeper 12's head lays on a spear. He's done. Astrid says all her knights ever needed was focus. Now comes the rising of the sun. That's how we conclude Future States, The Next Batman, #1. So yeah, guys, that was Future States, The Next Batman, #1. And this is a very interesting issue. 64 pages long, 3 different stories, and we're going to talk about the first story first, alright? Yeah, of course. The Next Batman. Now, this story is written by John Ridley and drawn by Nick Darrington. Now, Nick Darrington's artwork is amazing. It looks good throughout, fits the tone of Gotham City. He draws a really dope Batman and makes some cool splash images. So the artwork, really good. Fits it, and I liked it. Now, the writing by John Ridley, though it was solid, it was very simple at the same time. I expected a little more. Now, it might be because I have high expectations, because John Ridley has done great stuff before, but for now, though, the story is just simple and just decent, right? Like, yeah, you see Luke, he saves some 2 kids, right? Because they get caught up in this gang run by the Banes, right? And they need protection, but now they're forced to shoot and kill people and become a Gotham criminal, but they're just that close to becoming that. And Batman's trying to stop that, and he actually saves them. I like that. It was a nice, quick story. And the ending suggests that things are going to get even worse for Batman and more interesting for the story, from like a plot perspective, right? Now, my favorite part about the story was Luke's perspective on Gotham, how it's changed without Bruce. He actually believes, like, Bruce might be the reason that Gotham never went to the deep end, never went full-on crazy. And that's a really interesting concept, and seeing Luke pretty much go through this in his mind, be like, it's unbelievable, but it might be true, I thought that really kept up the story and kept, like, the momentum for me. It wasn't the action, it wasn't like Bane just shooting people and these 2 brothers and that stuff that kept the momentum for me. It was Luke's mind and his character arc. I like that. So obviously, John Ridley knows the Luke Fox family very well. Luke, Tam, the mother, and Tim. Now, speaking of Tim, it was revealed a couple weeks ago that he would be the new Batman, and seeing he's not in this issue, I'm now theorizing that he will become Batman by the end of the series. And that in the new Infinite Frontier DC Universe, he'll be the next Batman. He'll be that character there. And Luke will go out to do something different. That's my theory. You got some of your theories down below, but I thought it was interesting to see Luke Fox's Batman in this first issue instead of Tim Fox, as DC just revealed that he'd be the new Batman. So, it's a little confusing, but also gets me excited to see the direction at which they'll go with the story. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this first story, but going on to the second story, The Outsiders. This story is written by Brandon Thomas and drawn by Sumit Kumar. Now, the artwork is pretty solid. It's a little rushed at times, but it fits the tone, and I like how this artist draws like black lightning in a lightning shape and form. I thought that was really cool, and we'll get to the writing now. The writing by Brandon Thomas is really solid. How he writes Katana as she talks to her sword, her husband, is really cool. And I like Katana just being really good at fighting. Like, you see her, like, just taking down soldiers and being a badass. I like that. That was cool. And then see Katana work with Duke Thomas. Like, Duke actually had a good role in the story. And Duke never gets that. Like, I feel like Duke only got a good role in the Batman the Outsider series, so it's good that it keeps up with that in this Batman the Outsider story. Well, it's just Outsider story, right? Now, we have Katana. She goes to attack the Magistrate, because the Magistrate being the big force behind this. We don't know who they are. I like to know you guys' theories down below. I don't have a theory yet, so I'm still building off it, but it should be interesting to find out who the Magistrate is. But for now, though, we see Katana. She attacks this military base, fights off against Caliber, which I thought the action was really well done, but Caliber I just didn't care for. It just felt like a boss, like just a random boss, someone for Katana to fight and create some action sequences, right? Which that could be good sometimes, but also bad, because Caliber is now not really an interesting character. So I hope he doesn't really come back, because I never really saw the appeal in him, right? But still, he's defeated by Black Lightning. Now, he gets away with his guys, right? But he's hit and he's pretty much frightened by this. So lightning shows up, and this is when the story gets really good. Like, it went from, it's an okay story, to now, alright, I'm intrigued, and this is pretty solid. Because Black Lightning shows up, he's cursed, and he's acting in a lightning form now, which I thought was really awesome. That was really cool to see him attack a ton, and now they gotta work together to save Duke Thomas. That gets me excited for part 2 of the story. Now, the third story in this whole entire collection, the final one, is called Arkham Knights. Now, this story is written by Paul Jenkins and drawn by Jack Herbert. Now, the artwork is hit or miss at times for me. I felt like the artwork wasn't as good here. It was good toward the end of the story and the beginning, but the middle and certain, like, emotional moments or quiet scenes, it just didn't really hit me, and it didn't really connect, alright? I felt like the art was a little rushed in those scenes. Now, the writing is really good. Like, it was my favorite story, actually. Even though the artwork was a little less wasn't as good as the other stories, I feel like the writing was really strong. Like, Paul Jenkins knows these characters, and seeing Astrid Arkham be back in the spotlight, like, she hasn't shown up since her debut storyline in Pure J. Tomasi's run. And it suggested in that run that she returned, but she never did. So I'm happy to see her back. She's here instead of actually in the Detective Comics. Like, I feel like she will show up in Mariko Tamaki's new run on Detective Comics, which I'm excited about. But for now, though, it's cool to see her back in the future with all these villains like Killer Croc, Two-Face, Zaz. Like, that was really cool seeing all these villains behind her as she tries to take back Gotham and take out the magistrates. Like, it was really well done. And how it ends with them taking out the Peacekeeper 12, that one general, right? And now they're going on to take on more threats. It gets me excited to see what comes next. I like this group of villains led by Astrid. Like, the Arkham Knight is a great character that started out not so well in the Arkham universe, like the Batman Arkham games, but became really good in Pure J. Tomasi's Detective Comics run. It's great that the character's back. But yeah, guys, overall, this entire issue is a solid start to the series. Not that bad. I know a couple people were like, oh, Future State, I'm not going to check this out. No, check it out. Give it a chance. If you don't like something new, then don't check it out. But if you want something new, interesting, and some interesting takes on these characters that still is in line with their character, then I really recommend this. Because the first story is solid, the second story is really great, and the third story ends on a bang. And that's why I'm going to give the next Batman #1 an 8.3 out of 10. I recommend it. Check it out. And yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. What would you rate from 1 to 10? And if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Future State video. I'm going to be releasing a lot of Future State videos in the next few days, so stay tuned. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.